Let me tell you something that your therapist is too afraid to say, that your friends are too polite to admit, and that your wife stopped saying out loud years ago because she already gave up hoping you'd understand. She doesn't want a companion. She never did. That word, companion, that's a word invented by people who've already surrendered. That's the language of defeat dressed up as wisdom. Society sold you this fantasy that as you age, love transforms into something soft and quiet. Two people holding hands on a porch, watching sunsets, being partners. And you believed it. You let yourself believe it because it was comfortable, because it required nothing from you, because it gave you permission to stop. And while you were sitting on that porch congratulating yourself on your mature relationship, she was slowly, quietly, losing something she can never explain to you without destroying you: her respect. Here's what nobody will say. Female psychology does not retire. Her biology didn't read the same self-help books you did. She doesn't feel attraction for effort or companionship or how many years you've been together. Attraction is not a loyalty reward. It is a biological response to specific signals. And those signals are not age dependent. They are strength dependent, presence dependent, power dependent. A woman at 58 who still has her health, her femininity, her drive, she is not looking at you and thinking, "I'm so glad I have my sweet, tired companion." She is feeling something she's ashamed to admit even to herself. She is feeling a quiet, suffocating disappointment. And if you were honest, truly honest, you'd recognize it in the way she talks to you, in the pauses, in the tone, in the small decisions she stopped asking your opinion about. She doesn't hate you. That's not the danger. Hate requires energy. The danger is indifference wrapped in obligation. Now, I need you to understand something, and I need you to sit with this instead of immediately reaching for a reason why it doesn't apply to you. There are two versions of a man at 60. There is the patient and there is the patriarch. The patient is a man who let time happen to him. He stopped training when his knees started hurting and never started again. He let his testosterone drop without a fight, accepted the brain fog, the low energy, the disappearing drive as natural. He handed over financial decisions because it was easier, because conflict felt exhausting, because he told himself she was just better at that stuff. He became soft in body and soft in leadership. He smiles more, apologizes more, needs more. He requires management. His wife reminds him of his appointments. She handles the social calendar. She makes the call when something breaks in the house. She carries the invisible load, and she carries him too. He thinks this is partnership. It is not partnership. It is a woman doing everything while pretending she doesn't resent it. A woman cannot, I want you to understand this word, cannot feel attraction for a man she is managing. It is biologically incoherent. Attraction in women is downstream of one thing: the sense that this man is more capable than the situation in front of him, that he sees further, handles more, carries what others cannot. The moment she becomes the competent one in the room, the moment she starts solving problems you should be solving, the erotic charge between you doesn't just decrease, it inverts. It becomes maternal. You stopped being her man and became her responsibility. And no woman on earth maintains desire for what she has to take care of. The patriarch is a different animal. He walks into a room and the room adjusts. Not because he performs confidence, but because he has actual skin in the game. He is still in the arena. His business still demands him. His body still projects discipline. When he speaks, the sentence doesn't end with a question. He made decisions when it was hard and continues to make them now. He didn't outsource his leadership because age gave him permission to be tired. He understood that leadership is not a phase of life, it is an identity, and you don't retire from identity. His wife looks at him the same way she did decades ago, not because time was kind, but because he was relentless, because she has never once in their marriage had to wonder if he had it under control, because his presence, physical, financial, emotional, is a wall between her and the chaos of the world. And she can feel that wall every day. That feeling, that security she experiences in his presence, that is what produces her femininity. Her softness is a response to his solidity. Her submission is not weakness. It is the natural exhale of a woman who finally, completely trusts the man she's with. She cannot give you that exhale if you are not holding the weight. She cannot relax into you if she's the one holding everything up. I want to tell you about a man I know, won't use his name. Built a successful company in his 40s, made real money, retired at 56, thinking he'd earned the right to coast. Nice house, good neighborhood. Wife had been by his side for 28 years. Within 3 years of retirement, he'd gained 40 pounds. Stopped working out because there was no urgency. Started taking medications, blood pressure, cholesterol, then something for mood. His wife took over the finances because he seemed stressed by it. She started making the social plans, choosing the vacations, deciding which family events they attended. He'd sit in the living room watching sports while she ran the household like a single mother with a large child. She didn't leave him. That's the part men misunderstand. She didn't leave. She stayed, and she managed him. She spoke to him the way you speak to an elderly relative you feel sorry for, with patience that has no warmth behind it. She'd tell the story of how they met and include a small, almost imperceptible sigh. She'd smile at him in public the way you smile at something that used to be impressive. He thought they were fine because there was no fighting. There was no fighting because she had stopped expecting anything from him. Expectation requires belief. She had let go of the belief. He came to me asking why she seemed distant, and I told him the truth that cost him 3 years of comfort to hear. She's not distant. She's done. Not done with the marriage, done with the version of you that you decided to become. The disrespect doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come in screaming arguments or dramatic ultimatums. It comes in the tone of voice she uses when she corrects you in front of others. It comes in the way she finishes your sentences, not with affection, but with impatience. It comes in the decisions she makes without mentioning them to you because she already knows your input won't matter. It comes in the silence after you speak, the silence that used to mean she was thinking and now means she's waiting for you to finish so the adults can move on. These are the signs. And most men don't see them because they're not looking. They decided to be comfortable, and comfort requires not looking too closely. I'm going to tell you something that is going to sound arrogant, and I want you to sit with it rather than dismiss it. Respect is not given. Respect is extracted involuntarily from reality. When you are demonstrably capable, when your body is a testament to discipline, when your finances are a fortress, when your decisions age well, when your children still call you for advice, when strangers instinctively defer to you in a room. No one chooses to respect you. They simply do. It is a reflex, including her. You cannot talk her into respecting you. You cannot remind her of who you used to be. You cannot negotiate admiration with the history of your accomplishments. She is responding to who you are today, right now, in this body, in this role, with this energy. Today's version of you is the only one that matters to her nervous system. So here's what reclaiming your position actually looks like. It starts with your biology because everything else depends on it. If your testosterone is low, and if you are a sedentary man over 55 who hasn't specifically addressed this, it almost certainly is. Your motivation, your assertiveness, your libido, your emotional leadership, all of it is running on empty. This is not philosophical. It is chemical. Get tested, get treated. Fight for your hormonal baseline like your marriage depends on it, because it does. Then get back underweight. Not to look impressive at the beach, to rebuild the neurological relationship between physical challenge and psychological dominance. Men who train carry themselves differently. Their voices are different. Their decisions are different. She will feel this before she can articulate it. Then retake financial leadership. Not control in a controlling way, leadership. Know where every dollar is. Have a vision for where the household is going. Make investments. Have opinions about risk. A man who understands money and makes deliberate moves with it produces a specific kind of security in a woman that no amount of conversation or emotional availability can replicate. Money is not love, but financial command is a primal signal of competence, and competence is the foundation of her attraction to you. Then reclaim the decision making. Start small if you have to. Pick the restaurant, handle the contractor, make the call with the difficult family member that both of you have been avoiding. Sit at the head of the table in every room you enter, not physically, but in terms of who's setting the direction. Let her feel your hand on the wheel again. This is not about dominance over her. This is about giving her back the thing she's been missing without knowing how to ask for it. Safety. The particular kind of safety that only a genuinely capable man can provide. She does not want to lead. She has been leading because the alternative was chaos, and she is exhausted from it. When you step back into your power, something remarkable happens. She steps back into hers. Her femininity, her warmth, her desire, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from the specific relief of not having to carry everything alone anymore. When you are the wall, she gets to be soft. And a soft woman in love with a strong man is the most powerful force in any household. But none of this happens because you had a conversation. None of it happens because you read about it or watched a video about it. It happens because you go to war with the version of yourself that accepted decline as inevitable. 60 is not old. 60 is experienced. If you have maintained yourself. 60 with a disciplined body, controlled finances, and unshakable leadership is genuinely formidable. The men I respect most are not the youngest in the room. They are the ones who have been tested by time and refuse to be diminished by it. Their wives look at them with the same hunger, the same trust, the same dependence they had at the beginning. Not because they're nostalgic, but because he never stopped being worth it. You still have time, but less than you think. Because every day you spend being managed instead of leading is a day she adjusts further to a life where you are a fixture, not a force. The question is brutally simple. Are you the man she married, who showed up with certainty and made her feel like the world was manageable? Or have you become something she has to manage? You know the answer. Now decide what you're going to do about it.